Hey Rick fans, welcome to Rick Bakery, where all our jokes are half-baked. I'm Jacob, and if you want to know what this has to do with the Let's Build, then please stick around. Today we're having a look at this, the 6278 Enchanted Island, which is a set from 1994 that consists of 393 bricks and 7 minifigs. The 6278 Enchanted Island is part of the Pirates theme from the middle of the 90s. This faction is called the Islanders, and they were only available in 1994 with a brief re-release of this particular set in 2001. There were only ever 6 sets in this theme, and this is the biggest one. But without further ado, let's have a look at this great build. And here we got the manual for this build. It looks wonderful, I think. I really like the colorful clouds here in the background and the way that this horizon has been drawn out right here. Lovely blue and turquoise water right here. Some paper mache mountains or beaches right here in the corner. Also over here, and some interesting small patches of island that's been painted or drawn here on the table or whatever this is. On the back we've got some wonderful pictures too. This isn't alternate builds, but rather it is situations from the island where you can sort of see what can go on the island once you've built it. And I really like this one with all the action going on. Wonderful little manual here, and without further ado, let's get on with the build. This build has 2 base plates, this rocky molded one and this flat one with this drawing of a river right here. I really like these. I think they are beautiful. Unfortunately, mine are a little discolored from some sunlight over the years. I had to put some of these bricks in a hydrogen peroxide bath to get them to look a little less discolored. But this one I haven't been able to put in a bath. So this is how it's gonna be. Yeah, let's get on with it. I really like these old palm trunks right here because they are so movable. This is very, very nice. I really like this. Very dynamic little build, that's for sure. And here's what I've been using this book for. The sails for these boats right here were very, very, very crumply when I found everything in my old childhood collection. So these been under pressure for I think about a year, and it looks like they are pretty good right now. Not very crumply at all, and yeah, looking rather good for something that's more than 20 years old at this point, I'd say. Maybe a little yellowish, but I think they look good, all things considered. And that's the 2 small boats complete. They look great with these sails. I really enjoy that. That is very, very cool. The Islanders were always depicted as neutral if we go by what is on Wikipedia. And the thing is, though, we have seen these Islanders have prisoners from both the pirate faction and from the Admiral Soldiers faction. So the question is if they are neutral as such, or if they are just fighting for themselves or defending themselves against the 2 other factions. However, it is classically portrayed as a neutral faction. I think this is actually kind of interesting as we suddenly see this base plate from above, which is quite cool and very helpful when you're placing this many bricks without anything to really go by other than these studs themselves. So very interesting, especially in comparison to this right here. This is very creative right here. Using these on an angle really gives it an interesting dynamic look, I think. And yeah, I believe this is a gate for a sort of captive sort of thing right here. So we'll see how this turns out in just a second. Here is the finished Enchanted Island, the 6278. And this is without a doubt the biggest nostalgia set that I've built on my channel yet. And it's probably the biggest one I've had to review yet, which poses its own set of challenges. But let's start with an overview. First off, here on the right we have this statue right here, which seems to serve two functions. First one is that of a prison, and there's this prison door here on the back, and when you close it you can see there's room for a prisoner inside. And I think the intention is to make this look like some kind of deity or something like that. So it seems maybe it has some kind of worship value to the islanders as well. Moving further left, we have the first of these two towers in this Enchanted Island. This looks like some kind of watchtower with some ladders here on the side and a palm leaf roof. Between the two towers on the Enchanted Island, there's a bridge, and this bridge actually has an interesting play function. There's this split on one side that can be removed for the bridge to fall over, so people walking out there can be thrown down into the river, down to the crocodile waiting beneath. And on the far left of the island there's what looks to be a ruin. I'm not certain what the implication here is. If the islanders have taken over a ruin from some of the pirates or some of the admiral's people, some of the soldiers, or if this is the ruin remains of an old islander's temple or something like that. And on the farthest left there's this little platform right here with a small zebra striped drum. If we move to the lower levels, there is this treasure chamber right here underneath these palm leaves, which looks pretty nice, I think. Treasures and hidden treasures and secret chambers hiding treasures seems to be one of the staples of the pirate theme. And as a pirate theme lover, this is definitely one of the things I like a lot about this theme. For the main build there are two different types of printed pieces. There's these palm jungle pieces that's been used 3 times throughout this build, and this little drum skin piece right here. I think it's pretty amazing how well they work and how good they look. I'd love for there to be more printed pieces like this in current sets. I think they add a wonderful level of detail, and they can sort of achieve something, a depth maybe, that bricks can't really get. Other than that, there is of course the two base plates. One is molded like a mountain, the other is just flat, which has a little picture of a river flowing through it and some palm leaves on the sides. I think this is one of the things that makes Lego from the 90s so special. These base plates we rarely see today, and I think they are really cool because they do add a lot of dynamic looks for a Lego build like this. There's also been an extensive use of one of the classic Lego pieces, namely the palm leaves. There are palm leaves on the palms, of course, but also used extensively as roofs and as foliage around the ruin. This really adds to the sense of an enchanted island that might have been undiscovered and undisturbed for hundreds and hundreds of years. And I think it's this exact feel that makes this set relevant today as well. I could very well see this set go hand in hand with some of the newer modern jungle exploration sets, because this could be sort of a forgotten tribe deep inside a jungle that these newer jungle exploration people could find. And if not that, it might go very well with the adventurous theme that was from the 90s as well, with our hero Johnny Thunder. I don't remember if I've ever played with those themes alongside each other, but I think it does make a lot of sense if I did. The main build in itself is beautiful in my mind. I do love the entire look of this, even though the flat base plate can get a little barren to look at in comparison with the molded base plate. However, the tower and that deity god figure does add a lot to that base plate, and I gotta love this little cooking pot right here. Taking a look at the minifigs in this set, there's first of all these three islanders right here. Two of them have shields and all of them have spears. They've got this very characteristic bone or horn piece in their hair, and that hair piece, I believe, is actually specific and unique to this theme, which I am pretty sure is also the thing for the face and torso print. I think the torso print is really beautiful, especially considering the time. Those green, white and red colors blend perfectly with the base yellow of the torso. And the decoration around the neck and waist looks very cool too. At first glance, the legs can look like dual molds, but they are actually printed pieces. These are a little less complex than the torso prints, but I think they do the job nicely, and I am impressed how sharp they are on the yellow background. The shields that these islanders are carrying are also wonderful. I really like how the blue, white, red and yellow go together in this pattern right here. And it's also interesting how the figure on the shields actually look a bit like the statue or the deity statue that was also in this build. Lastly, they've all got this classic spear, and as is usual for figures of the 90s, there is no back printing. There's also what looks to be a female islander in this set. Her hairpiece and her legs are identical to the other islanders, except for the decoration in her hairpiece that is a little different. The torso print is decidedly different from the other islanders and carries the clearest indication of this being a female figure. Moreover, her face print is also different, focusing on the red lips rather than a full face paint. And instead of a spear and shield, this fig here is carrying one of the classic bows with a arrow holder on the back. The last figure of the islanders is King Kakuka. And he has the same basic equipment with a shield and a spear as his other islanders. However, his headgear and his torso print is very different from the other islanders. He has this full mask, which I believe is unique to this theme right here, and also a very interesting torso print. And underneath the big mask, the king is carrying another face print than the other islanders. This face paint is blue and white more than it is red, which is quite different from the look of the other islanders. Moreover, his torso print has a large necklace that seems to be containing teeth or something like that, which is also quite different from the other islanders. So all counted, there are 5 islanders living on the Enchanted Island. The other faction that is represented in this set is the pirates. These guys both have very classic parts. Especially the guy on the left seems to be almost made out of some of the most classic pirate parts. The guy on the right has a torso print that has appeared in 9 different sets, whereof one of them was actually the reprint of this very set, namely the Enchanted Island 6292. In comparison, as much as 39 other minifigs has had that hooked hand that this pirate has as well. And as is true for the islanders, these pirates have no backprint either. There's also included 3 animals in this set: the crocodile, the small parrot, which is one of the classic animals in the Lego lineup, and also another classic, this little monkey. They are all great, and I really think these are some of the things that underline the classic nature of this set. The last 2 things that's definitely worth having a look at in this set are the 2 small boats that is included. This is the pirate rowing boat with a couple of sails on it. The boat itself is one of the classic pirate boats, and the sails do carry some of the classic pirate colors. There's room for 2 in this little boat here with these 2 seats and small treasure map as well. This one is particularly cool, I think. The other boat is this canoe with a sail here that is the islanders' way of getting around, I believe. It has this very colorful sail with some of the same symbols as the shield, and the stickers down here carry some of the same symbols as well. There's a small pontoon on this side that gives the canoe a better balance and gives the overall boat a more of a catamaran feel. That was the 6278 Enchanted Island, which is a set I like a lot, and I am very nostalgic every time I see it. I remember getting it back in the 90s, and this was probably the biggest set I've had at this point ever. I'm not sure, maybe one of these space exploration sets were bigger and maybe I had that one before, but I don't remember exactly. Anyway, this one is great and I really like it. I like how this looks like an island, how this is an enchanted place with hidden treasures and all kinds of stuff. Wonderful set that I really like. But that's all for me today. I hope you'll comment, like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next Monday.